Hey everyone, it's Movie Lover 120 here, and this shelf's empty because I'm doing a shelf by shelf DVD collection for this place, or as I call it, the City Place. So yeah, these are basically the DVDs I have no room for back in my actual place. So I took the ones I cannot fit there here. So yeah, or just either that, or I just already have a certain movie at the actual place, so I just took the original copy I had and just took it here. So I can still watch it here, if I ever do. So, with that being said, let's get started on this first shelf back there that's empty. The first shelf. Alright, so, you got Avatar. I used to like this movie at the time, and then the more I would watch it on repeat every single time. And then as I got older and older, I saw all the flaws, and it's not really a big favorite anymore. I know there's supposed to be sequels coming out, but they take way too damn long to come out. Like, I honestly have no hope for those sequels at all at this rate. Just stop making them. Valiant, saw this as a kid, and wonder how it holds up now. Spanglish, decent little Adam Sandler movie. More of a dramedy, really. A triple feature of some films. They got Point Break, never saw it. Speed, I have seen. I love the first one. Speed 2, Cruise Control is a piece of shit. We don't need to talk about it. Transporter, also love that. Another one of Jason Statham's best films. Speaking of Transporter, got Transporter 2, also pretty good. Transporter 3, it's okay. And I do not own Transporter Refueled because I absolutely found that movie garbage. Got these horror 4-in-1 collections of Hostel. I have seen that. Hollow Man, never saw. I know you did last summer. Tried watching it, didn't like it, so I shut it off. And the shitty PG-13 remake of When a Stranger Calls. Ugh. Alright, next up. The first two Jackass movies. Keep meaning to add Jackass 3 and Bad Grandpa to this collection eventually for this place. But yeah, I got Jackass the movie, Jackass number 2. I think this one's the funniest. I think this one's second funniest. I think Bad Grandpa's the third funniest. And I think Jackass 3D is the fourth funniest. Not as funny as the first three, but still pretty good nonetheless. Especially for a 3D installment. Since neither of those end up being good, like for example, like the Final Destination 3D, Texas Chainsaw 3D, Saw 3D, etc. Alright. The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle. I honestly, it's like, I actually kind of enjoy this film. Yeah, it's shit. Yeah, it's shit, but it's a fun kind of shit. Really, so yeah, it's kind of a guilty pleasure, I gotta admit. Tommy Boy, rest in peace Chris Farley, very hilarious film. 101 Dalmatians, the animated one. Best one, hands down. I also do enjoy the live-action version. I know the live-action 1996 movie has its haters, and I'm not one of them, guys. Oops. One of them fell. Okay, anyway. The two Clerks movies. Clerks and Clerks 2. Hold them around that. Yeah, I remember not really liking this movie first time I saw it, and then I revisited it and I still loved it, and like, basically, these are easily Kevin Smith's best films. I mean, I like how they satirize often pop culture at times, and how goofy they can kind of get. Well, I definitely do prefer Clerks 1. Clerks 2 gets a little too silly, but they are fun movies, and I cannot wait for Clerks 3. Clerks 3, which finally just wrapped up filming. Inglourious Basterds, another one of Quentin Tarantino's best films. Basic Instinct, a whole lot of damn sex in this movie. So yeah, this is like, I can understand why people say this movie is so graphic in terms of nudity and sex, and basically another one of Paul Verhoeven's more better gems. Like, Like, it's not a masterpiece by any means, but it's a decent little erotic thriller for what it is. This is pretty much the movie where any 90s kid would find their parent, whose 90s kid's parents would watch this, and whenever a 90s kid would come into the room, they'd always go, "Get out! Leave! You're not watching this." Yeah, it's another one of those films. Team America World Police, the rated version. I found this at a video store I was selling it, so I picked it up, and there's, between the unrated and rated, there's not really a difference. The only really difference is just a longer sex scene in the unrated one. That's pretty much about it. It's still kind of the same length as the rated one. Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, one of my favorite prequels of all time. I have the other Star Wars movies at my other place, guys, so yeah. Do not like the Disney trilogy, so I'm not pulling out the Disney sequel trilogy, because I hate that trilogy so much. Borat, Sacha Baron Cohen's funniest movie. Sequel, Borat subsequent movie film is also pretty funny. Not as funny as this one, but still pretty good nonetheless. Well, it was an Amazon Prime original, so I don't have the DVD for it, guys. The Kung Fu Panda trilogy, which I already ranked this last week. Monsters Incorporated, another one of Pixar's best films. The Legally Blonde double feature. Legally Blonde, absolutely love this. Definitely among Reese Witherspoon's funniest films. The film that pretty much defined her career, according to most people. The sequel, Legally Blonde 2, not really. Well, as soon as I hoped I would probably like this movie, but as soon as I popped it on, and I'm on like the first 20 minutes, I think I was already kind of dozing on my phone, and yeah, I got bored really quickly with this one. Yeah, so in short, I was pretty much like, as soon as I started, I was like, no, I better just watch the first one. And we'll see how that third one goes. I mean, I don't really have too much hope for the third one, because it's another 20 years too late sequel, like Dumb and Dumber 2, Zoolander 2, Independence Day 2, among those pretty much release gap among those sequels. Kicking and Screaming, another one of Will Ferrell's funniest movies. Where is this soccer coach? Terminator 3, Rise of Machines. Probably the last good Terminator movie out there. Well, to me anyways. I mean, yeah, it's unnecessary, but I would watch this over some of the later stuff that came out afterwards. 2 Lego movies, and I also have these on Blu-ray at my other house, so, and I also have Lego Movie 2 on Blu-ray at my other house, and I'll get to that in a bit, but I absolutely love this. This is the best one in the series. This one's probably second best. It's not as funny as Lego Movie, but it's still pretty funny nonetheless. And I did not really like Lego Movie 2 that much. The Crank double feature, I've kind of already talked about this millions of times, but you'll get it. And then I bought those 2 separate DVDs, so I took this double feature to this place. So that's here. And of course, Hoodwinked. Alright, that pretty much wraps up the first shelf. Now let's get on with the next shelf. Okay, we are on to our next shelf, which was the second shelf. We've wrapped up the first shelf. Let's get on started with the second shelf. For our second shelf, we got Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, another one of Jim Carrey's best drama films. Easily, this is pretty much one of his most Oscar-worthy performances. This proves that he doesn't always. They can also do drama films, not just comedy all the time. Like, he could really nail a drama performance when really well done. Saturday Night Fever, still have to pull off this sticker on this one, but it's unwrapped. But yeah, this is pretty much definitely one of John Travolta's best films, along with Grease. Easily. I think this is actually the director's cut version. Sin City, the first one I really love a lot. The sequel, Sin City: Dame to Kill For, not so much. Yeah. One of the best comic book, non-superhero comic book movies out there. And one of Robert Rodriguez's best films. Mr. Bean's Holiday, very hilarious film. This is the only Mr. Bean thing I've seen, but it's pretty funny. Hot Fuzz, bought it, never watched it. Drillbit Taylor, bought it, had eventually watched it, and it's okay what it is. It's not really great by any means. Ugh. Catwoman, the shitty Halle Berry movie. I have yet to watch and roast this, but I'm too scared to even watch this, but I'll watch this and roast this eventually. This is one of the shittiest comic movies out there. It's not even damn Catwoman. I don't know why this even called Catwoman. Ratatouille, one of Pixar's best films. Zombieland, I already do have this on a double feature at my other place, but so I took this copy here. And yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite horror comedies of all time. The sequel, Zombieland Double Tap, I thought it was okay. It's not really that funny, really. I only saw that in theaters. I still have yet to rewatch it. March of the Penguins, one of the best documentaries out there. The Last House on the Left, the remake, one of the best remakes out there. Easily a very brutal, even more brutal, probably even more brutal than the original movie. Little Miss Sunshine, easily another perfect comedy, perfect little comedy of the 2000s. Napoleon Dynamite, a childhood classic. I just whenever I'd watch this, I'd always quote most of the quotes. Like, this is definitely my John Heater's best role easily, and I'd quote a lot of the quotes Napoleon says. Yeah. And RoboCop, the first one on this older edition, well, I have the Steelbook at the other house, so I took it to the other house. But yeah, the first one I really enjoy. It's one of the best sci-fi classics out there, enough said. And not a big fan of the sequels, so I do not have the sequels here. Mean Girls, classic high school film. Very hilarious. This was pretty much an iconic film to watch in high school all the time. The Little Mermaid, one of the more notorious Disney movies. I rewatched this because I know there's a live action adaptation of this movie coming. Election, probably now this to me is my favorite Reese Witherspoon comedy film. Because a lot of people say Legally Blonde's her best, but to me that's her second best. It's definitely this one. Easily the best one she's done. I don't get why it's not talked about so much. Toy Story 3, my favorite Pixar film of all time, and my favorite film of the Toy Story franchise. Yes, I do have 1 and 2. They're on VHS. They're at my other house, guys, so yeah. But I do have this one on DVD. It's the best Pixar movie yet. Toy Story 4, I do not own because I don't really care for that one that much. Plus, it's not really needed. This should have been the end of the Toy Story franchise, and this always will be the end. The Devil Wears Prada, absolutely enjoy this film. Film a lot, one of the best fashion movies out there. Mamma Mia, I have seen Mamma Mia 2, but I do not own it yet, but I think first one's also a pretty good film. The Muppet Movie, very classic childhood film. Perfect origin, how the Muppets all formed. Up, another one of Pixar's greatest films, probably their best non-Toy Story film. Did hear the sad news of Edward Asner, so may he rest in peace. Robots. I think this was easily Blue Sky Studios' best film. A lot of people say Ice Age or Peanuts movie were their best, but to me it was always this. It was a childhood classic, very underrated childhood classic, and yeah. I still have yet to review it. The Lion King, my favorite Disney animated movie of all time. I do not own the Jon Favreau live action movie because I think it's a piece of shit. So yeah, I only own the animated one. I have seen Lion King 2 Simba's Pride, but I don't own it, guys. But I also think it's pretty good. Alright, there you go. Rooked. No, whatever. My Dog Skip, very sad as hell movie. I don't get why this has the Warner Bros. Family Entertainment logo on it. It's really not really a family movie. Like, it's very heartbreaking, so I dare anyone to do it. Dare anyone not to cry watching that. Mrs. Doubtfire. I actually have this very same DVD at my other house, but since I own two of the movie, so I own two copies of the same film, not really a point, so I just took this one here. But yeah, this is easily late actor Robin Williams, rest in peace, funniest film. Hello! Curse of Chucky, one of the better Chucky movies, easily, I think, 5th best of the series behind 1, 2, Bride, and 3. I think so, but either 4th or 5th, but either way, it's one of the better Chucky movies. It was definitely a perfect franchise comeback after the dreaded awful seed of Chucky that we do not speak of. The Amityville Horror remake, one of the better horror, probably the only really Michael Bay remake of a horror film I actually really enjoy. Really, along with Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning. And the Rocky Horror Picture Show, very, very iconic. Just one of the best musicals out there. Alright, and with that, that pretty much takes care of the second shelf. So we are now on to the third shelf. Alright, we are now on to the third shelf. So let's begin the third shelf. Alright, for started off, we got the first 4 Friday the 13th movies. I started taking these here when I got that 8 movie big collection, which I now donated to Value Village because I got the Scream Factory box set. But yeah, this one's got my second favorite. Easily the first 4 films. And then you got Part 5, A New Beginning. Don't like this one. It's boring to me. Really boring film. Friday the 6th, Jason Lives. My favorite Friday the 13th movie of all time. That and Final Chapter are my 2 favorites. Then you got The New Blood. This honestly could have been good had the original footage not been destroyed, but we could have had some pretty gory kills here. And then, of course, the final one of the originals that I have... Not the final one of the originals, but one I have not unwrapped. Ugh. Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes a Boat. Oh, wait, no, I mean... Oh, wait, actually, Jason Takes Manhattan. Which it should not be called, because... Or heck, they should even call this Jason Takes Vancouver, because, one, this looks nothing like Manhattan streets at all. And when he is in Manhattan, it's the final 12 minutes of the movie, so yeah. I never enjoyed watching this one. This is probably the worst Friday the 13th movie all around. Then I got the first 4 Nightmare on Elm Street movies. And even this cover is better than that shitty vanilla Blu-ray cover I have back in my other place, but it has all the films. Scream Factory, released that damn box set. Got the first one, best one. Second one of my least favorites. 3, my second favorite. 4, underrated guilty pleasure. And when it comes to the others, New Nightmares, my third favorite. They got Nightmare on Elm Street 5, not really enjoyable either. And of course, Freddy's Dead and the remake and both kiss my ass. Alright, you got Freddy vs. Jason. I absolutely love this movie. It's a very great crossover between 2 iconic slasher killers. I mean, yeah, it's got its nitpicks every now and then, but it's just great, enjoyable from start to finish. And then you got personal, controversial, liked film, the Friday the 13th remake. 3rd best remake of the Michael Bay stuff. Well, the killer cut is the superior version, because the theatrical cut is only like 96 damn minutes long, so yeah, it's way too short. But I really wish they had an origin for Jason, not Michael or Leatherface. Backstory for Jason would have been better. Alright, we are now on to the sci-fi horrors we got here. We got Alien, very great movie, one of the best sci-fi horrors out there. Aliens, even better. one of the best horror sequels, second best horror sequel out there. It has this perfect change from horror to action. And yeah, I am not a fan of 3 and 4. Yeah, I'm not a fan of 3 or 4, guys. And you got the Predator triple feature series. I do not own the Shane Black movie here because I think it's a piece of shit. But yeah, the first three are pretty good, enjoyable films. Predator is obviously one of the best films out there, enough said. Predator 2 is an underrated sequel. Underrated sequel, I think it's actually kind of as good. And like how you have the Predator in the city, going around and killing some drug addicts and criminals. Predators is okay, really. Kind of a rehash of the first one, but still pretty good for what it is. And like I said, the Shane Black movie for 2018 was absolute garbage, so I didn't buy it. Like, actually, I did, but by keeping it at that other house, I'm not adding it to this collection here. Oh, damn it, and they fell. Get back on there. The Alien vs. Predator films. I actually don't like both of these because, one, you have a crap PG-13 version of the first one, and then you got Requiem, which I would recommend watching if you turn your TV brightness all the damn way up to 100 to be able to enjoy it. But even then, it's still crap. The Halloween remake, the director's cut. I do have the theatrical cuts in my house, and I did buy this, so didn't really feel like owning the same copies of the remake, but so I took this copy here. But the theatrical cuts of both of these versions are better because you got the rape scene in this one, and then you got Michael take off his. Actually, I'll get to that part in a bit, but in Halloween 2's director's cut, you got Laurie swearing all the time, and Annie and others, and then you got the infamous ending where Michael takes off his mask and yells, "Die!" In Halloween 2, yeah, no. Really portrays the main purpose of the character. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, it's alright, really. I prefer Texas Chainsaw the beginning as the superior one. Forgetting Sarah Marshall, very funny little breakup movie. Alright. Marley and Me, another funny but very sad movie. Eyes Wide Shut, still haven't watched this yet, but heard Stanley Kubrick's very final movie before he died. Transformers, of which I only like the Michael Bay series, I only like the first one. Yeah, well, I'd say Bumblebee is the best Transformers movie, but the first one, easily second best, is the second best of Transformers films, and the best, well, third best if you count the animated movie, but it's the best of the Michael Bay films. Did not like Transformers Revenge of the Fallen at all. I do not own don't own the other sequels, but Dark of the Moon is okay, really, it's better than this, but I absolutely hate Age of Extinction and Last Night, so I'm definitely, Age of Extinction, so I did not buy it, only saw it in theaters, and I decided I'm done with Transformers, and I skipped seeing Last Night because because of how so bad Age of Extinction was, and honestly, from what I've heard about Last Night, I was smart to skip it. It did not get any better than Age, at all. Just from what I've heard from a few subscribers of mine that have seen Last Night, they think it's worse. So I basically, thankfully, dodged a bullet. A recent one, Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut, the best cut of Superman 2. This is the cut you should always watch. Second best Superman movie of all time. Figure.com, movie I reviewed last year. Yeah, I was requested to watch this damn thing. And I think it's one of the worst horror movies of all time, but I bought it at a dollar store because I need to roast the shit out of it every time I watch it because of how horribly, badly freaking filmed it is. And now, The Sandlot. One of the perfect baseball kid films out there. Yeah, if you have not seen this yet, watch it. You need to. Like, it's such an iconic movie. Even despite the small role, it's even one of James Earl Jones's, another one of James Earl Jones's best roles. Even if his role's pretty small. Alright, on to the 3 Blu-rays I own. The Hostel double feature series. This one does have the director's cut, which I think is the alternate ending cut with the daughter. But, I like the theatrical ending where he kills the Dutch businessman better. So yeah, because the ending where he just kidnaps the daughter, yeah, I think that's just really stupid. Because that just makes us sympathize with a torturer. And I prefer the ending where Paxton kills the torturer. That's a better ending. Hostel Part 2, I've actually grown to like better than the first one because it actually cuts straight to the damn horror. For a change, it actually feels like Eli Roth finally gets to do whatever the damn hell he wants to do in that one. And I really don't like Part 3. Saw, the first one. Best one, easily. Have Saw 2 at the other place, have the rest of the Saw films at the other place. Saw 3, what everyone considers to be the last good Saw movie. And then you got Saw 6, one of the better sequels to come after 3. And you got the Lord of the Rings Extended Trilogy DVD. Like, I just love this whole trilogy, but I personally like Return of the King the best, Fellowship, and then Towers. Alright, wraps up third shelf, so we will now be getting on to the fourth and final shelf, and that's all the holiday movies. Alright, on to our final shelf, the Christmas movies I own. So, Elf, easily Will Ferrell's funniest movie. One of the funniest Christmas films out there. Bad Santa, very hilarious adult Christmas film. Don't know why they made a sequel to it. Never saw a sequel and I've heard not good things about it, so I'm not going to bother. A Bad Mom's Christmas, not really as funny as the first one, but it's fine for what it is. The Rankin Bass Collection. Great little Christmas shorts I watch every single year. These 3 are easily the best ones. I'd say, and right up around with Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol. And the rest are just okay, really. They're more kiddie-ish. Really. I think Cricket on the Hearth is probably the worst one. It's a very Merry Muppet Christmas movie. The 2018 animated The Grinch. I prefer the Chuck Jones short and the Jim Carrey film better. This one doesn't really act like The Grinch. But it's a kind of a fine little cute film for kids, but It's a Wonderful Life, my favorite Christmas movie of all time, and White Christmas. Never saw it. This Santa Claus, first 2 Santa Claus films. The Santa Claus, I enjoyed the first one a lot. One of the first Christmas films that actually made me cry watching. The Santa Claus 2, not really as enjoyable, but still pretty enjoyable nonetheless. And I absolutely despise 3. Arthur Christmas. This pretty much ended up being much better than I expected it to be. Christmas with the Cranks, one of the worst Christmas movies ever. Polar Express, a childhood classic. Always a pretty frequent watch every year. And they got 4 Christmases. It's okay, I don't really enjoy it. I know the 2 leads, I know that they had a pretty bad production. The 2 leads really do not like working together. Already a major red flag when it comes to that film. Okay, and with that pretty much wraps up my Christmas movie, not Christmas movie, my Christmas movie shelf, but that wraps up the DVD collection for this place. So, that'll be it for this video. Thank you all for watching. If you like this and want to see more, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Movie Lover 120.